The World Wide Web is chock-a-block with videos of puppies doing hilarious things. And luckily for you, dear viewer, we've looked at the lot and have the very best right here. We've got malfunctioning pups. Sporty pups. Ninja pups. And the puppy who thinks he's a horse. We'll meet the mutt who's best friends with a cheetah. No, really. And the grumpiest pup on the planet. As we find out why we can't get enough of the puppies that make us laugh out loud. Let's start at puppy school, the place where our four-legged friends learn how to become fully functioning pooches. But some new pupils need to learn to walk before they run. Someone's late for class. You boy, no running in the playground. Ooh. There's always one teacher's pet who'll do anything to outshine the others. And in this class, it's this little one who's taking his much larger mate on a tour of the playground. And it's going fine until the lunch bell rings. And with tripe on the menu, his bigger pal is determined to be at the front of the queue. But this pup got there first, and he's nicked the best seat. Hang on, is he eating out of an ice cube tray? That's the education cuts in action right there.
Very disturbing, the one that goes and sits down in the little baby's high chair for food. I'm a little bit worried that there's a child sitting nearby on the floor being thrown scraps to eat.
Amazing how you could train a little German Shepherd puppy to go sit in a high chair and wait for his dinner, but it's actually not that difficult for him, and he's highly motivated, he's hungry all the time, so...
After lunch, it's time for PE, and this hound has worked up a right thirst, so he has a drink and then goes straight in for a post-match bath. That's not very hygienic. This pup is taking her final exam in her least favourite subject, how to get down the stairs. But luckily, it's a practical exam, and her tutor's on hand to show her how it's done.
We'll show her. Oh, sweetie. Simon's got you.
I reckon she's getting the hang of it.
Yay! You're almost down. Come on.
And I think she's going to complete the exam just in time for her starring role in the school production of The 39 Steps. It's the final and messiest lesson of the day, potty training, with a particularly young teacher.
You sit down and push hard, and then you come up, and then your mommy picks up your pee or poop.
It's like getting potty trained by one of the miniature sopranos, isn't it?
Okay, Joey, you squat down, you push real hard, you concentrate. And then somebody comes and bags it for you, okay? And puts it in the river and it's never heard of again.
And after a hard day studying, it's time for Mum to pick you up. And this one has an interesting take on the school run. Tremendous. Now, for our puppies to grow up big and strong, they have to eat the right foods. But just like human kids, they really don't like their fruit and veg. As the old saying goes, an apple a day will keep the doctor away. It seems they also have the same effect on baby dogs. This lady's got half a lemon left over from the gin and tonic she had for breakfast, and she's decided to let her puppy try some. Well, that ended on a sour note. Did you see what I did there? This fella's not keen on having squash for dinner. And I agree with him. It's quite possibly the most pointless veg after the courgette. Don't even get me started on those. Moving on, there is one vegetable that strikes fear into our four-legged friends more than the rest combined. It's only... dun dun dun! Broccoli. This fella doesn't like it. And neither does this pup.
What a healthy snack of broccoli.
This mutt's running away from a whole head of the stuff.
Eat your broccoli, it's good for you.
What is that? You scared of broccoli?
I'm sure Jamie Oliver would try a different tactic, just like this next owner who's wrapped his pooch up in a blanket and is spoon-feeding it yoghurt. Well, it is strawberry, so surely that counts as the healthy option. If any nutritionists are watching, please don't write in. That was purely for comedy and it's not actual dietary advice. We're at Paul Hollywood's house now, and he's left his pooch alone while he pops to the tanning salon. But foolishly, he's left some freshly baked cakes on the sideboard. And this pup believes the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so he's going to try one.
Who the hell puts CCTV cameras on their muffins? It's total entrapment. They knew exactly what they were doing. They probably sat outside the window looking through, drinking coffees. Like New York cops going, oh my God, we got him. He's going for the muffins.
The pup can't decide if they're any good, so he goes in for seconds. And then thirds. Well, at least those two are out of reach. Ah. Cheeky beggar. Well, at least he's left one for Paul to enjoy when he gets back from the beautician's. Oh, it seems he hasn't.
That dog's just perseveres, it gets everything it can, and then it's the dainty paw knocking the other one back, almost like it's having tea at the Ritz, going, I think I'll just have one more little cake, thank you very much, that's lovely. They have no sense of right and wrong, theft, property, anything. They'll just take whatever they can.
Well, you know, dogs are scavengers, and they'll raid bins and they'll steal anything that you leave out. You leave out cupcakes, there's going to be a cupcake munching dog's going to steal them from you.
But with treats everywhere, how do you stop your pups getting fat? Well, here are our top 3 tips. Number 1, patience is a virtue, just like these two who have to wait for a command before they can tuck in.
Okay, boys.
Oh, the cheeky so-and-so.
Nico, you didn't eat yours. What happened, Nico?
Nico learning a very valuable lesson in life there, whether you be a pup or any other creature. You snooze, you lose, Nico. You snooze, you lose.
Number 2, feed your pups off paper plates, because more food ends up on the floor than in their bellies. Number 3, don't even bother to eat the food. Just wear it. And finally, let's pause for thought. Here's a message to puppies everywhere. Remember to give thanks before every meal.
Honey, what do we do before we eat? We pray. Thank you for this food I'm about to receive, and I pray for more food for those other dogs that don't get a lot of food. Pray, honey?
Amen.
Who wouldn't want a creepy religious dog in your house?
I'm pretty sure Honey says his prayers every night before he goes to bed, but I'm pretty sure it's not for food. I'm pretty sure it's, please, get me out of this insane household where I'm made to pray for my food by a mad woman.
Honey, what do we do before we eat? We pray.
Dog. It's God backwards. Is it? Yeah, it is. No. Yes, it is. God, I'm good at spelling.
Coming up, talking pups. Scaredy pups.
Why can't you get down? Is there a kitty in the way?
And the grumpiest pup in the world. Tonight, it's all about puppy love as we take a tour around the funniest puppy clips on the planet. And now it's time to meet the pups who are talking back to their humans. When learning a new language, it's important to study with someone of similar ability, just like this pup and this baby, who are having a right old natter. That child grew up to be the first human-to-dog translator at the United Nations.
All the noises that puppies make when they're very young are all about getting attention from mum. So, you know, I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm uncomfortable. And if things bring results, what tends to happen is those noises get repeated in other contexts.
This next gang of chatterboxes have mastered the basics and are showing off by doing some impressions. This one's pretending to be a cat. Very convincing.
If you're finding your voice as an animal for the first time, particularly a husky, and you sound like a cat, it's not going to impress anybody, is it? Stood aloft a snowy rock. Right, check this out. Well, I'm not going to be terrifying anything, but I might end up in a show on the West End.
This next fella thinks he's a pig. But this one has a much more unusual inspiration. He thinks he's a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. I think think you'll agree he's utterly terrifying, but in a very cute way. But when it comes to talking, this next pooch really takes the dog biscuit. You won't believe this, but he's only gone and learnt to speak English.
Simba, what's wrong?
Sorry, what was that? You want your mummy? Can you say anything else? I'll take that as a no then.
No, it's not saying that, is it? What the dog is saying is... Pardon?
I bet with all that chat, he's gone a little bit husky. Now, as we've seen, puppies like to express themselves. But here's one who, like a certain Disney princess, has thrown caution to the wind in order to reach his full potential. Or to put it another way, he's obsessed with Let It Go. In fact, he even wakes from a deep sleep when it comes on. And 6 million of you have watched him howl along from the back seat of his car. The Idina Menzel sound-alike is miniature Australian sheepdog Oakley. His Homo sapien is Brittany Bowl.
I wanted a dog forever, it seems like, and we had just gotten married. We're not planning on having a family for a long time, so we ended up with Oakley.
But it was whilst they were on their way to the vets that Brittany discovered Oakley was actually Princess Elsa in wolf's clothing.
As soon as the music came on, his ears perked up, and the first time he heard it was the first time he howled along.
Not a footprint to receive. He's so clearly moved by music. You can see the look in his one weird blue eye. This is my song. This is my moment. I am a princess. I will sing this song.
Realising her dog was a singing sensation, Brittany put the clip online, obviously, and obviously because it's a puppy singing, it quickly went viral.
It seems like the first week or so, you know, he already had 100,000 views, and I remember saying, like, how did this video get so popular, you know?
Probably because they actually all think it's a singing puppy, which of course it's not. Not being mean, just stating fact.
I don't think dogs are musical at all. I think there are just certain notes that you can get on an instrument or in a piece of music that trigger this intrinsic behaviour. It's just one of those little patterns they've inherited over the thousands of years since they were wolves.
So when Oakley hears Let It Go, he thinks it's another dog howling, which, for those of you who hate the song, will make perfect sense.
I'm totally sick of Let It Go, but the excitement that brings my dog when the song comes on makes me love the song the same way.
Oh, for crying out loud, just let it go! Now, we all know that puppies are cute, but don't let that cuteness fool you. When left to their own devices, they can be right little troublemakers, and they're rubbish at hiding their guilt. This criminal mastermind has stupidly fallen asleep at the scene of the crime, with the evidence all around him. He later claimed he was auditioning for an advert, but the judge was having none of it. This evidence trail leads straight to our next offender, who's hard at work ripping up some cushions. Apparently Rambo here has had a tip-off that there's a decent stash hidden inside. He's even roped in his henchman Bambi to keep an eye out for the fuzz.
Rambo, what's going on here?
But Bambi's doing a terrible job. Oi, you're nicked! But Rambo's too quick. He's legged it, and the last we heard is that he's now living in a country with no extradition treaty. This woman's called her dog Red Pawed.
What did you do?
There's always some woman in the background going, what have you done? What have you done? I took your credit card and the car keys, and I spent a lot of money on soft toys.
Our next victim has just arrived home to discover a scene of canine carnage.
Okay, what happened here?
So he goes into Poirot mode to find the culprit, first interrogating the witnesses.
Was it you, Rudy? Did you get into Rudy? Did you get into the tissue box?
But they've been told not to grass, so he follows the clues and finally catches the criminal, who's wearing a rubbish disguise.
How about you, Willow? Did you get into the tissue box? Huh? How come you're not taking that thing off your head?
the guy goes in, he finds paper strewn everywhere and goes, who's done this? And just finds a dog with a box of Kleenex on its head. Like it's going, if I keep very still, it might think I'm some sort of modern work of art.
This next fella's not going down without a fight. Marvellous.
Look at me. Look at me.
There's been a bank heist in Beverly Hills and they're looking for the culprit.
Did you do this to my money?
He's feeling the heat under his collar.
Look at me. Look at me.
But will he cave in and fess up?
Did you do this to my money? Everybody in the room who ate the money raised their hand.
Well, that didn't take much.
Oh, it was you?
It sure was.
Obviously, if the dog does eat quite a lot of banknotes, what you've got to do is just wait for a while and see if any change comes out.
Yeah, thanks for that info, Zoe. Let's go to someone who knows what they're talking about.
It's perfectly normal for puppies to chew things, but the damage they cause means nothing to them until someone else comes along.
What did you do?
You'll never see them reacting just to the damage while they're doing it. They don't sort of look around furtively saying, am I going to get caught? They just carry on doing what they're doing.
But remember, folks, these crimes are rare, so don't have nightmares. Do sleep well. Now, we all remember Grumpy Cat, the internet's grumpiest and richest pussy. But there's a new contender to his throne, and it's in the shape of a dog. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Grumpy Puppy. This Pug Beagle cross, or Puggle, is a pup that's taking the world by storm. Grumpy's owners are Derek Bloomfield and his fiancée Christy Bailey. They discovered their pup's grumpy potential whilst he was trying to have a number 2.
I took the original photo, took him outside to do his normal duties, tried to get him to go poop, and he just sat down and looked up to me like, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, because I love it when someone watches me poop.
I just started taking pictures and I showed it to Derek and we were just cracking up, and I sent it to a couple friends and family and they're just like, oh my God, you have to post that picture.
Which is exactly what Derek did.
I first posted Earl's original photo on Reddit.
The world had its introduction to Grumpy and the world loved what they saw.
Something like 2.2 million views.
In 24 hours, something like that, yeah.
And that started everything. That's when he went viral.
But Derek and Christy didn't want Grumpy to be a one viral wonder.
It was like, okay, we need to start thinking big picture here.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to run with it.
But of course, no animal can be a star on the net unless they have a wardrobe to rival a Kardashian, and Grumpy is no exception.
We started doing the dressing up thing because you can only take so many pictures of a dog sitting or laying.
It's more challenging getting the costume on him and taking the photo than we ever thought it would be because he doesn't like to cooperate. He's very stubborn.
In wardrobe, Grumpy may have more meltdowns than Naomi Campbell.
Hey, Earl, no.
But just like his supermodel counterpart, the camera loves him.
There's been a few successful ones. The professor photo with the glasses was a big hit, but I would say the Pilgrim post was the most successful. Earl, you want a treat, buddy?
Today, though, it's Grump's most challenging shoot to date, as he becomes a queen. And I think you'll agree, the resemblance to Her Majesty is uncanny. Bang goes the MBE then. Cheers, guys. Anyway, if you really want to leverage your pet for what it's worth, then you've got to sign some deals. And Grumpy has done just that.
There's going to be books and T-shirts and merchandise. We can't get it out fast enough. That's the plan, is to eventually just do it all.
And we can't wait. Before they become a fully grown dog with a job and a mortgage, our puppy friends have to find their feet. But for some pooches, even the basics can be baffling. You'd probably think that playing with balls would come naturally, right? Yeah, might want to rethink that. All this fella needs to do is keep his eye on the ball and catch it.
I want that dog. I would spend thousands to buy a dog like that. That would keep me amused all day.
Catching is even more difficult on a shiny floor. Oh! And remember, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Or alternatively, just give up.
There's nothing funnier than a dog being unable to catch a ball. Or not be, because what's a dog for? You're meant to be able to do stuff. When they're rubbish at sport, they're rubbish at everything. Because they're not. Well, luckily he's really, really good mathematician or something.
The dogs that can't catch balls remind me of being at school. I was always the last to be picked for games. And if I was a puppy, I'd be the one that would just let it bounce off the top of my head as well. I'd be like, OK, ready? OK, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I'm ready. OK, I'm still not ready.
Dogs love to bury stuff. They're the funeral directors of the animal world, but sometimes they have no idea what they're doing. The dogs' funeral directors are highly trained and know exactly what they're doing. Anyway, Boris here is trying his best to bury his ball in the sand.
Boris, that's not how you bury your ball.
It is, however, how you become the first dog to strike oil. This beagle has been given a bedtime treat, but he's already brushed his teeth, so he's going to hide it for later. Now, I'm all for practising your technique in bed, but this chap's getting nowhere burying his bone in the duvet.
I love to see dogs digging to hide their food. My dog does that. You give him a treat, and you can see a little look in his eyes, like, oh, I'm totally going to save this for later. And he'll take it to his bed, and he will bury it very, very diligently, bury it, and then sit on it for about 5 seconds, and then go, now is later!
Sometimes you need a break from all those life lessons and just want to let your hair down and play. But like a kid in a sweet shop, sometimes you can be spoilt for choice. This chap's got real problems. That trampoline's making his balls bounce all over the place.
I'd love to see the dog that can't catch a ball surrounded by all those balls going, are you just trying to taunt me, you know?
It must be Christmas Day round at this pup's house, and Santa has left him so many toys he can't decide which to play with. And like all kids, by the next day he'd forgotten all about them and had more fun with the box.
Why do you need 6 toys? My dog has like 1 toy at a time. That's like when you're a kid and go over to your friend's house, they're like, I've got this toy, and how many have you got? You go, I've got 2.
This chap has narrowed his toy selection down to just 1. But who will win this head-to-head duel? Those minions really are despicable. Over in the park now, and the owner of this dog has had the hilarious idea to put his puppy on the swings, and the little fella looks really impressed.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, he looks like he's having a load of fun. Maybe they should open a theme park. I'm so sorry. Still to come, puppies are getting sporty. We've got the pups that think they're ninjas, malfunctioning mutts, and cats and dogs like you've never seen before. Marvellous. Tonight, we've rounded up the best clips of puppies from around the world. From canine conversations to pups versus food. Now, we've all heard of scaredy cats, but now the tables have been turned, and it's time for some scaredy pups, and it's our feline friends who are doing the scaring.
The thing that puppies all have to learn is that there is a higher force, a higher being on the planet, and that's called a cat.
Why can't you get down? Is there a kitty in the way?
This standoff between Pup and Puss is like something from the Wild West. It's now in its 3rd day, and the desperate dog has tried everything to get past.
Some cats are very controlling of dogs and some are very sociable, but by and large you must learn to be suspicious of all of them and approach very carefully.
Time to go all in and make a run for it. The owner of this baby husky employed a bouncer to stop him escaping. But the pup is having none of it and is desperate to get past. No, sorry mate, if your name's not down, you're not coming in. 7 scaredy pups now who are all being held back by a single moggy. None of them are brave enough to take him on. Maybe a group attack will work. Nope. Back to the drawing board, lads. Thankfully, not all pups are willing to let cats get the upper hand. Oh, missed. But it's not just cats who are striking fear into the hearts of our puppies. They're getting freaked out by all sorts of stuff. like their own reflections. This corgi is having a lovely old time playing with his ball, until he clocks himself in the mirror. He's not sure who's staring back at him. Whoever it is, he doesn't like the look of him, so he legs it.
I'm not sure if the corgi is afraid of itself. That corgi stops, and I think it's kind of a heart-rending moment. I think the corgi looked in the mirror and thought it was an Alsatian and went, is that what I am? I'm one of the rubbish little dogs the Queen has.
This pooch is checking out the water fountains in his local park. It all looks peaceful enough, but I wouldn't recommend sitting there, pal.
You can't blame the husky for being a little startled when sitting on an unsuspecting fountain. I once used a bidet without realising it was a bidet, and I had a startled expression.
Now, there's nothing we like more than bringing you mismatched hookups. We've shown cats hanging out with birds, dolphins making out with humans, and Donald Trump in his ferrets. I mean hair. But even we were surprised when we stumbled across this video, which has been watched by over 2 million of you lot on YouTube. The unlikely puppy/cheetah combo are Kago and Kumbali. It's a Disney-esque story of survival, and one that I guarantee will warm the cockles of your heart. The keeper is Jim Anderline. He runs Richmond Zoo in Virginia, the good old US of America, and has raised Kumbali since he was a cub.
About at a 2-week period, Kumbali started losing weight. He was weak and dehydrated, and so it was determined at that time that we needed to pull him and supplement him with a bottle. We actually kept Kumbali in our home. He was kept in an incubator. You know, had we not intervened, he surely would not have survived.
And whilst Kumbali was more than happy to crash at Jim's place, he needed a best buddy, and needed one soon.
Male cheetahs form coalitions in the wild, and they usually do that with their sibling, and they remain together their entire life.
So Kumbali could only survive with a bro in tow. Now, there may be plenty of fish in the sea, but there are virtually no cheetahs in Virginia. So Jim got creative and had what appeared to be one of the stupidest ideas anyone has ever come up with.
We decided to introduce him to a puppy.
A cheetah with a puppy? That is ridiculous. Peter, put him straight.
If you have a young cheetah and he makes best pals as if he's with a littermate with a young dog, it could be that that relationship will last their lifetime. As long as they're kept together, they'll always be the best of mates.
OK, what do I know?
We found a puppy that was in a rescue organization in Louisiana. He's a lab mix. He's the same age as Kumbali. We immediately said, that's the dog.
Jim had found a match for Kumbali, but pairing them up could still have been the most disastrous blind date in history.
We were a little bit apprehensive. We didn't know how Kumbali would respond, but it was just amazing.
And just like everything that happens in the 21st century, someone filmed the meeting on their phone.
Kumbali was using his paw and slapped Kago a couple times in the face. And you look at Kago, his tail is just wagging. He's just excited to be there. And then just within minutes, they were pushing on each other and leaning on each other, licking on each other, and just following each other all around the kitchen. And we've kept them together ever since.
Kago and Kumbali have now left Jim's place and moved into their very own enclosure in the zoo, where they're the star attraction.
People have come from, all over because they want to see Kago and Kumbali together. It's just a unique friendship. They'll be brothers for life.
But like all siblings, rivalry can sometimes get the better of them.
When they're chasing and playing, Kumbali is not even running full speed most of the time. He can catch Kago anytime he wants.
So nothing to worry about here then.
You might have a little worry that one day the Labrador runs a bit fast and the cheetah sees him as prey suddenly, in which case he'll chase after him and bowl him over. But hopefully that would be as far as it went, that he'd then recognise his friend and wouldn't need to eat him.
OK, so quite a lot to worry about. Thanks, Peter. As we've seen, puppies can be, how shall I put this, a bit thick. But some dogs are born with superhuman powers. Ladies and gents, meet the Ninja Pups.
Ninja Pups are better than normal ninjas, actually, because they've got an added cuteness factor, so you don't expect them to do anything.
They're an elite band who have to master a huge range of skills in order to survive. Like opening gates. And sliding downstairs.
That one sliding down the stairs that's the same colour as the carpet, that is clever. That's a little bit Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, isn't it?
They've learned to raid the fridge. All right, close the door.
I wonder if that's a hotel where it's like a dog minibar. He's opened it up and gone, oh, look, tiny little schmackos. I like them. Then he looks at the thing and goes, £5? Well, I'm not having that. I'll buy it from the supermarket, replace it later.
This next ninja has learned to steal from right under the nose of the enemy. Mission accomplished. Time for some tips on how to stay one step ahead of these cunning canines. Number 1. If you become a target for one of the ninja elite, whatever you do, don't run. I said don't run!
I don't know what you're meant to do with a puppy. I think with a bear, you're meant to play dead, and with a mountain lion, you're meant to make yourself big, and maybe with a puppy, you're meant to scream and roll.
It's a puppy.
Number 2, if your trousers are a bit on the loose side, don't turn your back on the ninja, or he'll just do this.
Grayson!
The cheek of it! Out in the garden, this husky is ready to launch an ambush from a bush.
Where's the puppy? What are you doing in there?
Further up the garden, these two are seeking cover in a lawnmower.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, can't you read? That sign says danger. Actually, forget that. Of course you can't read. You're dogs. Another essential skill is that of trapping the enemy. This fella is tired of being pushed around by the arrogant cat who shares his house. With the cat halfway into his cell, he's given a helping hand. He's not done yet. Ninjas 1, Gingers 0. Improvisation is vital for our ninjas, and this pup shows just how resourceful they can be. His ball is stranded in the middle of a pool of radioactive water. He looks around and comes up with a plan. Yeah, he decides to use that tub as a boat. Ball saved, and it's time to get back to dry land. Very impressive.
I don't understand why it can't just jump in and get the ball. First of all, it's weird that it has to use that. It's a dog. You're not meant to be. You're meant to just jump in, get the ball, jump out again. It's a weirdly camp dog. It's almost like it's going, I've done my hair, I'm not going in. Oh no, I've just eaten. A bit creepy, but quite camp. Yeah, maybe it's my sort of dog.
Now, unlike that last highly skilled group of pooches, this next lot struggle to keep even their most basic bodily functions under control. Take this little one who's got a fit of the sneezes. Or is he doing an impression of a horse? Shall we see that again? One more time? Really? Go on then. This one's sneezes are out of control.
Pepper, you okay?
What? The sneezing dog is called Pepper? Oh, you're just having a laugh now.
The fact they've called it Pepper is surely just going to keep making it worse, because every time they say, you pass the pepper, the dog will be Pepper, Pepper, and it's probably getting exposed to Pepper the whole time.
I mean, dogs don't know what's going on when they're sneezing. It's just complete and utter confusion. I mean, at least we know what's going on. There's been a mild irritant. I've got a small virus. This is what's going on. A dog must be like, my face is going to come off! My face is coming off! It's coming off!
This mutt's nodded off, and nothing's going to wake him. Apart from that.
I can totally relate to the dog waking itself up farting, though, because I've done that. On a packed train.
These pups are having a play fight, but one is determined to win using any means necessary. That's very childish. I think his expression says it all.
It's got to be, you know, bad luck that there you are playing with your friend and he breaks wind in your face. I mean, I guess for humans that would put an end to the games, but I think dogs they're kind of smelly things anyway sometimes, and that's just part and parcel.
This chap is trying to cool down by doing an impression of an overheating steam train. Unusual technique. But surely this next one is the most malfunctioning mutt of them all. He's auditioning for Panto and has developed a unique way of responding to "He's behind you." Shall we try it together? 3, 2, 1. He's behind you! I bet the rest of the cast think he's a right pain in the neck. Still to come, the very first Olymp Pup Games. And the most inspirational puppy on the planet. Tonight we're picking up our leads and heading off for walkies through the best puppy clips on the internet. From scaredy pups to malfunctioning mutts.
Oh my...
Now, you may not know that some pups are mad about sport, and we have the very best for you right now in an item that we're calling the Olymp Pups. Let's start at the track and the 100 metres final, where this chap is hoping to set a new world record. Looks good, but we'll have to wait for the official timing to be confirmed. This is the run along a ledge and then do it backwards semi-final, and I've got to say, this dog is in fine form.
I love a sausage dog. They're an inquisitive little thing, but they've got a very, very poor turning circle. I'd love a little sausage dog to have the sort of beep, 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 beep. This dachshund is reversing.
Next up, it's the long jump, and it's this pup's first attempt. He's not going to break any records with that. Perhaps a longer run-up would help. Yep, that's much more promising. Over to the gymnastics now, and it's been an exciting day in the bed-hopping heats, where this rank outsider outclassed the reigning champion.
That's what my brain is doing when I go into a hotel room. You get put in a twin bedroom and you just don't know which one to go on. And there is that thing of, this one, oh, I don't know, that one, that one's... I don't know, but I'm nearer the window there, but I'm nearer the door.
Down at the beach for the Stop the Crab Reaching the Sea race, and there's been a bit of controversy. The sausage dog's made an official complaint that his opponent had an unfair advantage. He's got 8 legs. So no surprise that the crab won. Steward's inquiry pending.
You do think the crab's going, yeah, it's not really funny video for me. I think I'm going to die.
Back to the track now, and one of the most anticipated races of these games, the 110-metre hurdles. Oh, he's in the water. My mistake. That's clearly the steeplechase.
I think it's amazing how dogs will amuse themselves and find things to occupy themselves with. The problems seem to come when the people get involved and try to help them.
And of course, you don't get to be a champion athlete without putting in endless hours of training. Like this pup on a treadmill who wants to win a lot. Might need a bit more practice. Every boxer knows that skipping keeps you trim, and this Rocky wannabe is so good he doesn't even need a rope. Over to the pool now, and the water polo, where this chap's got the ball and just needs to get it in the water. All it needs is a quick nudge and... oh dear. Staying with the water sports, and it's all go in the diving pool. I'm not entirely sure why the crowd are laughing. That looked like a lovely entry to me. Straight back, very little splash. And the scores are in. 5.6, 5.6, 5.9. And that's just for the bloke. Over to the ski jump now. Oh, and that's a great effort from him. But can the Dachshund snatch victory? Oh no, he's lost it on the landing.
Face plant, but he managed to sort of style it out. I kind of had that sort of, I meant to do that. I meant to totally land on my face. I've done that many of occasion of a Saturday night out after a few sherries.
Makeshift ice hockey next. We've got a mop for a hockey stick, and all we need is a puck. I said puck, not pup. This next lot are battling it out in the speed skating. Oof! Back to the gymnastics and the vault, which is all about elegance and timing. That's a double fail then.
I love the beautiful dog falling down the steps. Even with dogs, it's the same thing. Watching beautiful people fail is one of my biggest pleasures in life.
Mal-coordinated face-planting Pomeranian at least has its own airbag in the form of quite a substantial amount of fluff. There is no Pomeranians were hurt in the making of this falling downstairs video.
It's like watching Naomi Campbell when she's wearing heels too high. It's like watching Justin Bieber fall off stage. It's the same sort of pleasure when you see a pretty dog taken down.
On the floor, this gymnast is really excelling at the forward roll.
Good girl.
Ah, perfection.
Good job.
But before you try any of these moves at home, remember it's important to land safely.
Oh.
But when it comes to inspirational feats of endurance, this pup in the nifty knitwear takes the gold. His name is Duncan Liu, and he's a boxer who's got more fight in him than Floyd Mayweather. DL, as you can probably tell, is 2 pegs short of a set, and 6 million dog lovers around the world have watched this video of him bouncing along the beach like Bo Derek. Ask your dad.
His videos are so positive and optimistic. It was insane how quickly it, went viral.
Duncan Liu's owner is Amanda Guise. She's like a tattooed Mother Teresa who's turned her home into a last chance saloon for pups.
Hi. Normally when we take an animal, it's already been turned away multiple times. We're kind of their 3rd, 4th, sometimes 10th chance.
But in 2013, she got a call about a pup who really was on his last legs. Sorry.
2 years ago, we were called in regards to a boxer born without back legs, is what we were told. And they wanted to know if we would be able to take him. And we absolutely said yes.
Duncan Liu has been given a reprieve, but his condition was much worse than Amanda had first been told.
When he arrived, it was very clear that he actually did have back legs. They were just deformed and fused in a rock-hard, X shape under his body. We had 2 choices. We either euthanized him or we removed the back legs and give him the best shot at life.
And DL's best shot of survival lay in the hands of veterinary surgeon Brandon Sherman.
The best solution was a real tight amputation up towards the hip joint, and in fact we removed both of the hind limbs.
After 5 hours in surgery, Duncan Liu was facing months of recuperation.
Within 20 minutes of waking up from surgery, he just took off.
Oh, okay then.
And I was like, great, we're good, take a picture and video, because here we go.
Duncan Liu had been given a new lease of life and is now determined to grab it with both paws.
We know that our time is very limited with him, and I feel like we need to put a full boxer lifespan into the year, months, or weeks that we may have with him. Come on, let's get some peanut butter. Anything treat or food motivated is absolutely a favorite of his. Lots of peanut butter, lots of cookies and treats. See, he's like, what, cookies? For me?
In fact, DL is so spoilt, he's now become a regular at this luxurious 5-star canine boutique hotel and spa. Yeah, these places really do exist. And as a VIP, very important pup, Duncan Liu is always greeted by his loyal fans. But when that becomes too much for him, he can always get petrosexual with a pawdicure. Really? Anyway, following a hydrotherapy massage, or shower as we like to call it,
Good boy.
DL can settle down for the evening in his own penthouse suite, where he can lick his ball before going to sleep. Lucky boy. So there you have it, ladies and gents, proof if it were needed that puppies really do make us laugh out loud, especially when they're kind enough to do something hilarious in front of a camera.
The Mutts are at it again next Friday at 7 with Dogs Make You Laugh Out Loud. Tonight at 10, Mel B and Professor Green are the top-class hosts with David Williams and Alicia Dixon, the first to take on the challenge of a brand new lip-sync battle. Before that, though, can you believe it? The first live eviction from Celebrity Big Brother. You're on Channel 5.